I became a multi-millionaire in 4 years. Here's 3 videos I wish I had watched. First video.
What's the problem for the average man today? What's the biggest problem? I think there's a whole host of problems. But what you have to do is frame it inside of your mind and understand that all of those problems are going to allow you, give you the fuel and the unlimited motivation that you need to become a successful and beautiful individual if you frame it in the right way. If you take a man and give him a life shielded from problems and he never has any to face, I guarantee you he's terrible at being a man. The best men in the world have gone through shit. That's why women love scars, because it didn't kill you. That's the whole point of it, right? So the best thing you can do as a man is look and go, okay, this is hard, this is hard, this is hard, this is hard. I feel negative because these are all so difficult. I'm struggling with X, Y, Z. Let me internalize all of that and turn it into a superpower. Let me become genuinely uncomfortable with my situation in life and go and fix things. Because like I said, the universe is absolutely and utterly very giving. And if you truly hated being in the position you were in, you wouldn't be there very long. Yeah. So I think that the number one problem with the world today and the biggest problem that men face isn't the problems themselves. It's just the way that they are been taught to mentally frame issues. People think when bad things happen to them that somehow they're a victim to the universe and bad things only happen to me and this is so terrible. They don't understand that bad things happen to everybody. And the most successful person you know had all those, probably maybe even worse, at least the same bad things happened to them. They just framed it differently and used it. That's the difference. So I don't pray for an easy life. I pray for a life of difficulty that allows me to become a better and better person. I pray to become more competent to handle problems. I pray to put myself in a position where if the mass media machine attempts its very best to destroy my life, I can laugh and smile from my villa in Dubai. Yeah. This is who I pray to become. I don't pray that nobody hurts me. I pray to be able to fight. So it's just a different mentality.
Second video.
Okay.
Once you figure out what money is, figure out why it matters, and then change the relationship in how you view money. People view money the wrong way. People view money as just like a return for, it's like they view it as a prize or something that they own, they hold. Money is simply energy, right? It has the ability to perform or do something in your return. Money doesn't really have any value. Mm-hmm. It's just value that's attributed because somebody's falling under the same belief system that you are. But it doesn't hold any intrinsic value. It's all based off of one single thing, trust, right? So the US dollar is solely based off of trust. We were doing the Capital Club event in Albania, and we were sitting down with the head of the central bank of Albania. His name was Fulani, by Mr. Fulani, and he was the guy that signs the money in Albania. And I asked him 3 questions. The first I asked him, do central banks run the world? And he said, well, I can't tell you what I think, but what I can tell you is what JP Morgan said, which is somewhere along the lines of whoever owns the money, owns the world. Mm-hmm. So he just giggled, and that's the first thing he said. The second question I asked him, I said, is Bitcoin money? Remember, mind you, I asked the head of the central bank of Albania, central bank, right, is Bitcoin money? And he was like, we started kind of debating a little bit back and forth about it. And, money needs to be a store of value. It needs to be trustworthy. It needs to be a means of exchange. We went through kind of the list of what money has to have, the attributes of money in order to qualify to be money. And he was like, Bitcoin is money. That was his conclusion.
Last video.
And this is what's crazy. When you see the overnight successes, this is what happens. I want to describe it to you so you understand it and how you can do it. So let's say that there's a ladder, all right? And you've got this pole on one side, you got the pole on the other side, and you've got the middle bar, okay? You need all 3 to move to the next level of the ladder, right? And so, for example, you might have the left side built up 6 stories above where you're at. And you might have the right side built up 6 stories, 10 stories from where you're at right now. But all of a sudden, if you change your character and that character trait development gives you 3 more rungs, all of a sudden you go 3 rungs because you already have, the constraint has been removed. And so you can be more advanced in your beliefs than you are in your skills. Or you can be more advanced in your character trait than you are in your skills. Or you can be more advanced in your skills than you are in your beliefs, right? And so it's having all 3 of those that are checked off at each level of entrepreneurship that gets you to $1 million a year, $3 million a year, $10 million a year, $100 million a year, whatever it is, right? Is you have to have all of them. And so the point of this video, and is to get you to understand how to actually develop those soft things, because the skills are straightforward, right? The skills are, you just go buy the course and you read the book and you consume the content like this and you practice, you apply, right? That's what you have to do. That's it, right? One of the skills that I see lots of marketers these days not have is they don't know how to sell. They don't know how to develop a sales team. They don't know how to manage and grow a sales team. They don't know how to lead a sales team. That's a skill they don't have. And as soon as they do, they go from 3 million to 10 million like that very, very easily, right? It's understanding